It's important that first of all, I share with you our concerns for your welfare, your financial and personal welfare during this drought. We're constantly in awe, exporters and buyers and processors. We're constantly in awe of the resilience of the Australian wool grower, but I have no doubt that resilience is being tested at this time. We're keeping our clients regularly informed and updated with the situation, and our thoughts are with you all. Bring it on, bring on the rain. You know, it also impacts on us as exporters and processors. Reduction in quality, reduction in volume, changes to yield, length, strength, vegetable matter, all make it more difficult for us to build orders to specific customer requirements. So we're with you. Let's hope that we get a much better condition sooner rather than later. A little bit about the Schneider company. It's a family-owned business that started in Australia in 1922. We have a buying office in Australia, New Zealand, Argentina, plus we use an agency in South Africa. Our focus is on processing precious natural fibres, but we're a trading company with a large industrial presence. Our industrial division includes 4 combing plants around the world, wool combing plants. Obviously in Italy, it's the flagship. It's the best kind of refined, certified wool in the world. A combing mill in China, a combing mill in Argentina, and our most recent one is in Egypt, strategically placed in Egypt as an alternative, which right now is looking like a good move. Conditions in China are nowhere near what they were. Cost of production is going up. Our mill in Egypt is placed in a zone that gives us some benefit for tariffs into Europe, and our combing parcels produced in the Egypt mill are stamped as EU1, meaning made in Europe, and can enter Europe without tariffs. Each of these combing mills produce about 5 million kilos of wool tops a year. That's about 50,000 bales in each combing mill. Each of these mills are now more eco-conscious, with a focus on water recycling, reducing energy costs, and ensuring every part of the production is used. The oils, the waste, the lanolin. Our mill in Verona in northern Italy is jointly owned with 3 of the world's leading textile manufacturers, Emanagiula, Zegna, Loro and Marzotto. We have 2 carbonising plants as well, one in China and one in Egypt. They lie adjacent to the combing mills. We have 2 Kashmir de-herring plants, one in Mongolia and one in Iran. And in Ferman, Argentina, Ferman is our business in Argentina. We run a farm enterprise that runs and manages 200,000 merinos, and that complements our wool combing plant and the trading division there. These farms produce 800 tonne of wool, with 50% of that production is maintained and marketed as organic with good market premiums. Schneider Australia has 2 shareholders. Obviously the Schneider Group is a major shareholder, but recently we welcomed a share in our business in Australia to Marzotto wool manufacturing business. They produce 20 million metres of fabric a year. That's 20,000 kilometres of fabric every year. They're the largest weaver in Europe, and they joined Schneider Australia to build on their traceable and sustainable story. A brief market overview. In 2018-19, the Australian export business was valued at $3.8 billion, and just under 300 million net kilos were exported from Australia. Production Forecast Committee is predicting a further 5% reduction to 285 million kilos for 2019 and 20, the lowest in almost 100 years. Despite this overall reduction in supply, the lowest in almost 100 years, as I said, AWTA wool testing data would indicate that 18.5 micron and finer production increased by 11% over that period. And this occurred, unfortunately, at exactly the same time that the Chinese demand for the double face fabric that became a phenomenon. It used fine and superfine wool. That stopped overnight, and this impacted significantly on the Australian market, which continued to grow finer as a result of the drought. The price gap on the basis of micron that we saw late 2018, early 2019, from 17 to 21 micron has almost vanished. Reduction in production, in my opinion, will create future ongoing volatility and will impact on profitability of everyone. Concern I have is that the reduced production will create, will influence supply, the price will be more influenced by supply than demand. Highly variable prices will impact on profitability for everyone. Low yielding types have been more affected in recent months as a result of supply. Low yielding wools incur a higher processing cost. The Australian wool market is now dominated by family companies. The large trading, corporate trading companies are more or less gone. This is an issue for cash flow in the Australian wool clip, considering the annual value that I mentioned earlier. It's funded and financed primarily by family businesses. Perhaps they do it better than the corporates, but it's certainly putting a lot of strain on the market at the moment. The topic for today is going to be very heavily influenced by sustainability and traceability. It's almost unusual to hear people talking about the market and wool and sheep without mentioning these words, so we just can't underestimate the importance, but it's been predictable. It's been coming for a while. Last week in Melbourne, the wool industry bodies all got together. The CEO of Country Roads, Scott Fife, told us about Country Roads' long-term strategy towards sustainability through a traceable non-mules wool supply chain. They're also using a New Zealand company called Oritain to do their DNA to provide the customer the origin of the wool fibres in their garments. Hugo Boss representatives spoke at length at the IWTA conference in Europe earlier this year. They spoke about the importance at this conference of traceability and sustainability. They're words they use, but what do they mean? They were willing to talk about the elephant in the room, mulesing status, when no one else, a lot of other people up until that point had decided to dance around it a little bit. The Caring Group, the owners of luxury brands including Gucci and Yves Saint Laurent. There was a recent article in the Bloomberg magazine just last week. It was titled, "Why Luxury Fashion is Walking the Runway on Recycled Plastic Heels." It went on to say, from crocodile skins to cashmere and wool, the luxury industry is under more pressure than ever before to prove its sustainable credentials. The Caring website itself says, luxury and sustainability are one and the same. It goes on to say, sustainability has always been at the heart of Caring's strategy, far more than an ethical necessity. It is a driver of innovation and value creation for the group, its houses and its stakeholders. These are serious levels of investment in this field and the clear direction that global fashion brands are taking to promote their sustainable credentials. And make no mistake, the mulesing status of the merino sheep is part of these credentials. The National Wool Declaration is the first document. It's a vital one that starts this traceable supply chain from farm gate. The industry is currently reviewing the National Wool Declaration. We want to make sure that it remains vital, it remains important, it remains accepted. It is the starting point from farm gate. The National Wool Declaration is the key to traceability and global trust of the Australian wool clip. It must be completed, in our opinion, and nothing short of full adoption by Australian wool growers should be accepted. Personally, I'm not supportive of mandating the completion of the National Wool Declaration. You don't have to test your wool, for example, so it seems an unnecessary complication. Rather, we prefer an education through the network of Woolbrokers to relay the importance of this document. Some brokers are already doing this better than others, so I'd recommend you have this discussion with your broker for the mutual benefit of us all. It's of high importance to the industry. In the process of the review of this document, AWEX received more than 50 submissions from industry, most of them very cooperative and offering good levels of advice and suggestions. Unfortunately, A couple of the submissions reportedly were from wool growers who said, get rid of it, it's a waste of time. This couldn't be further from the truth. We acknowledge that it needs to be simplified to reduce error and confusion when completing it, and to increase value of this document to the industry. AWEC's figures indicate that 70% of the wool clip sold at auction has a completed national wool declaration. It's good, but not enough. Still 30% sold as not declared. It's been said to me on 2 occasions now, sitting in front of customers in Europe, they said, why do people not complete the declaration? In their opinion, in their words, they said, if you don't declare it, we think that those growers don't care. Now, I know that that's not true, but it's a perception. You know, it's like they're thinking that you're saying you can stick it where it belongs. You know, it's a perception that we don't care. That's what we have to reverse. The Australian Wool Exchange data for 2018 and 19 show that not 30% of the clip was declared as non-mulesed, 35% declared as mulesed with pain relief, 19% declared as mulesed without pain relief, and still 30% was not declared. Our company, Schneider Australia, put in a submission to the review. We identified the use of the preoperative meloxicam products, Macdonald and Metacam 20, as well as the trisulfan. We would like to see the option for the growers to identify which or both they're using rather than just simply pain relief. AWI research has shown that there is a clear advantage by using these products, and the best outcome is to use them both. So let's tell our customers, let's tell them what we're doing. Other wool producing countries don't have these options, so here's a chance for us to be one up. We think that the terminology of PR, pain relief, should be changed. We're telling the world that there is pain and we're relieving them of it. We think a word such as analgesia or anaesthetic should be used. That opinion has been passed through to wool producers and superfund wool growers, and it's up for review as others. The Australian Council of Wool Exporters and Processors have proposed a change from the mob-based declaration, as it currently is, to a property-based approach. Ultimately, to us, that makes sense. It's not the individual status of an individual sheep. It's the attitude of the wool grower that's important. If a wool grower has made the decision to stop mulesing or to use pain relief, whatever he's decided to do, it should be across his property, not an individual basis. We think it will reduce the error and a greater declared volume will result. Both very, very significant importance to the industry. Mulesing story won't go away. I'm sorry to keep saying it. Our collective aim must be to make mulesing and the breach of the merino just a chapter of the sheep welfare book, rather than the whole book. At the moment, talk welfare of the sheep, our customers want to talk about mulesing. It's illogical. We know that's not correct. We've got to tell the story, we've got to find ways to talk about the other positive aspects of welfare, on-farm welfare. Pain relief, or analgesia as I prefer to call it, it doesn't necessarily attract a market premium, but it tells a positive welfare message. As I mentioned earlier, our position is that we would prefer, if mulesing was to happen, that both the preoperative meloxicam products in conjunction with the post-operative trisulfan be used. This is in line with the AWI research and supports the benefit of the sheep. We get positive feedback from the grower contacts that we have on both products. Clearly, both products have advantages. So I suggest you talk to your vet and find out what options are available. It's really important for me to say that we would never, as a processor of wool, we don't want to tell you how to care for your sheep. We know that's what you do. You know, we've been involved in long-term contracts. We did questionnaires. We ask a lot of questions, and we know that every one of you is already doing what you can to look after your sheep. We understand that a healthy sheep is a productive one. For the Australian wool grower to be profitable, they need a productive sheep. Therefore, we're confident in the process that the Australian wool growers are making decisions that impact positively on the welfare of your sheep. You have to. It's a high-cost production business, and the health and productivity of our animals is essential. We can only pass on to you the messages that we're getting from our customers. I personally believe that mandating in any way the use of pain relief may not be received as positively as we would hope. The clear message coming from many, not all of our clients, your clients as well, is that they would like to see mulesing stopped. Any mandating of pain relief could potentially be perceived as you're not getting it or you're missing the point. That's a concern I have. Whether it's real or not, I'm not sure, but you can understand the point. To us, the clear message is you should be stopping mulesing. Some industry comment that the Chinese don't care is not correct. Unfortunately, we have unconfirmed reports that non-mules certification for Australian wool is not so difficult to find in China, whether it be certified by reliable independent sources or not. We're pretty sure that there's a lot more non-mules declared Australian wool traded than what is produced. We accept and encourage the use of alternative breech modification methods, including the new freeze branding process as a step towards a non-mules flock. We're encouraged by this process, but we'd like more scientific-based evidence, and ultimately the animal welfare agencies will have an opinion that will influence the retail and fashion sectors. We're advised that a university will soon be conducting an independent review assessment of this. This will take time. We would have preferred that this had been done before going to the market. We see benefits in not only animal welfare from this freeze branding process, but also environmental benefit, with less reliance on chemicals and a quality benefit from less impact and stain, both the result of the bearer breech without the need of the surgical moves. Top makers, spinners and weavers have options now. South Africa, New Zealand, Argentina, Uruguay, they don't mules. Australian production is falling at an alarming rate. We don't dictate the global supply of wool like we used to. Our clients have an alternative source of supply, and they're making it quite clear to us. The Australian Council of Wool Exporters and Processors President Matthew Hand last week told the industry representatives in Melbourne that we're losing orders to other origins because of the perception that Australian wool is mulesed. I see it firsthand, to my disgust, sitting in front of numerous European clients. Our sales staff selling Argentinian wool tops. They're non-mulesed and organic. The perception that wool growers in that part of the world care more for their sheep than an Australian wool grower is simply ludicrous. We don't believe it. I don't believe it, but it's a perception. We know the wool from Argentina performs worse than the Australian wool. But in the past 12 months, at least, certain wool qualities from Argentina are easier to sell and for a higher price than equivalent Australian wool tops. I lose sleep over this. It's just not true. It's not fair. It's an animal welfare perception that's derived simply from mulesing status. The Schneider Group focus is on quality and sustainability. It's a prestigious natural fibre and should be treated as such. As the owner and operator of 4 large-scale combing mills, we have both the responsibility and privilege to contribute to this traceable and sustainable story. We control the goods through the spinning. Preempting this global interest, 18 months ago we launched our own quality and integrity scheme called Authentico. We wanted to trust and accept the process that Australian wool growers already follow. We wanted to use best practice standards that are already adhered to by clearly an overwhelming majority of you. We chose to accept the law in Australia and New Zealand with regards to animal welfare, human resources and environmental stewardship. These are already globally strong standards. We chose this structure because we know that these standards are already best practice and we want to allow you to do what you do best, look after your sheep. Every time each year you leave, every day you walk off your veranda, it's an animal welfare story. Attending today, it's an animal welfare story. We need to take the mulesing issue off the front page. We need to make it just one chapter of the welfare story. We need your help to do this. The National Wool Declaration is the place to start. To think that mulesing is the only animal welfare story is just nonsense. We know that. So we established Authentico so that we can help you tell your story. We wanted a simple structure, KISS, keep it simple, stupid, that our clients can understand. That will provide them with the confidence to know that the growers they're dealing with are doing the right thing by their staff, their animals, their environment, and the quality preparation of their clip. That's all. It's also a platform for us to detail the other stories without even requesting. When growers register with Authentico, we found that more than 70% of our members have indicated to us that they belong to the local land care group or a biosecurity plan. That alone is a great story. And we can provide that to our staff to help convince our customers and to educate them about the other positives. Immediately we start changing the tact. I believe strongly in the Australian Wool Exchange Code of Practice and the class and registration process to maintain the reputation of the Australian wool clip. It's very important. Wool is not a commodity, it's a luxury fibre. And we must treat it as such and maintain these standards. We treat D certificates, that is, wool that's not classed to the industry code of practice, with absolute caution. When we're looking for wool at auction, we like to see like wools together. When a clip is presented for sale, you need to sell it to us. You've got to tell us the story. Present it to us in the best way you can, otherwise you risk falling into fair average quality. We need to be able to understand what you've done, and that will encourage us to be more aggressive on your best lines. We don't support unskirted wool. We spent 12 months producing this wool, and the people who choose that option prefer to toss it into the bale as quickly as they can. Any suggestion that you're better off is crazy. To us, a process like that reduces standards in order to improve your return must only lead to long-term lower prices. Competitors of ours might choose to buy that unskirted wool, even if it's only 20 cents a kilo less. Okay, you might cost you 30 cents a kilo to have a class. I'm not sure what the costs are, but you might see that as an advantage. Our problem is our competitor will buy it for 20 cents less, and that becomes the price. We go to a customer and they say, I've got this price, 20 cents lower. They know the standard of quality is maybe not so good, but that's the price. It's driving the price down. Many growers ask me at auction what to grow or how to prepare it. I simply say that grow the best wool that your country and conditions will allow. Prepare your wool clip well. Complete the National Wool Declaration accurately until you're neighbour 2-2, and continue to be a socially responsible wool growers. It's what you do already. We firmly believe that your financial welfare and ours is very closely aligned. Maybe even we rely on wool more than you do. It's what we do. We remain very confident in the future of wool. Consumers want it. We just need some economic stability, some confidence to encourage spending. Wool will be a winner, and we remain very confident of that. I don't for 1 minute suggest that this is an easy story, but I encourage you to listen to the speakers you've got here today. Keep thinking, keep looking outside of what you're doing to maintain best practice. Thank you.